Hello everyone, Phantomy here. Today we're going to be playing some Rift Wizard 3. What this is all about, this is a top-down roguelike where we play as these tiny little wizards going through rifts, slaying foes to eventually defeat the great evil Mordred. Mordred? Mordred? Something like that. It's in the starting screen. Mordred. Yeah, you know, the guy from Arthurian Legends? Yeah, that guy. We're gonna go and kick his ass. So, this game is fairly simple in how it is set up. We are this guy over here. Look, Patrick, it is me. That is me. Sorry, not Patrick. It was the snail, wasn't it? Regardless, yeah, this is us. This is our little playpen area. The game is turn-based. Every action we take takes a turn. Every enemy takes their turn as well, right after us. We are supposed to be clearing the entire map so we can access these portals and go to the next level. There's about 20 levels to go through, at the end of which we fend off against the great and evil Mordred. So yeah, the game, you can see over here, we can have our health, our SP, which are the skill points used to buy spells, which are going to be the tools that we use to defeat the enemies, as well as equipment, which is going to be something we talk about a little bit later. So let's start this up by picking up our first spell. These are the 1 SP spells. This is the starter spells, the level 1 spells, otherwise known as cantrips. As far as I'm aware, I think these are called the cantrips, just these. We got a series of spells over here. We have a little tooltip telling us about the spell pretty much. Telling us that this spell is a blood and metallic spell, which are its elemental effects, and a sorcery, which is the spell type. There are multiple elemental effects, there are multiple spell types. Spell types a little less, but still quite a few over there. So yeah, we're gonna pick ourselves our starter spell, and it's gonna be Magic Missile. And we can see this is an arcane sorcery spell. It has 20 charges. This is the important thing to always keep track of in this game. Your charges are what you need to use to clear the level. Somebody reviewed the previous game in the series, Rift Wizard 2, calling the game a bit more like a puzzle game in which you have to finish the puzzle in your allotted moves. In this case, obviously, those are dictated by your charges and HP. But yeah, it's our Magic Missile. It deals 11 arcane damage, it has 9 range, it has a couple of upgrades. Those are something to look at in a second. So this is our spell over here, our starting spell. If we right click it, here we have the upgrades. These require also SP, so more skill points needed, but they're pretty powerful overall. You can see they can remove shields from enemies, they can hit more targets. While you have minions, they can hit enemies that are immune to arcane with different types of damage, or they can ricochet between enemies. So yeah, we're gonna pick our Magic Missile and we're gonna start bopping heads over here. Oh, my bad over here. I'll raise this a little bit. So yeah, these are goblins. They're pretty basic enemies. You can actually see all their stats over here. Their HP, they are living creatures. This matters because a lot of spells take into account this keyword living to either apply different effects or to just not work. There are possibly spells that don't actually work as well on living creatures. Also, their spells, in this case, is melee attack, so cast iron, I suppose, but with a wooden dagger. Why is it a perfectly shaped wooden dagger, though? Like, look at the sprite for a second. Bro has, like, a beautifully shaped dagger made entirely out of wood. I feel like at that point, what did you cut the wood with? You gotta have to use, like, a flint or something. Regardless, we're just gonna pop them quickly. This is a spawner, by the way. These things are, let's say, the most important things you should clear in a level most of the times. There might be, like, an enemy. There might be a structure that otherwise might have like a countdown mechanic to it. Say, each 5 turns the structure hits the area with an ice blast that grows in damage with and applies freeze, which is pretty much a stun. Like, yeah, that might be a better target than dealing with spawns. But yeah, this is gonna spawn another goblin in 2 turns. You can see over here, it takes 7 turns for it to spawn a goblin, and in the brackets, 2. That is the amount of turns it takes for it to spawn its next goblin. They spawn an infinite amount of enemies. It's important to pick them off quickly, otherwise you'll get overwhelmed, run out of charges, and runs over. So we're just gonna pop this guy. 1, 2, 3, pop, and we got it. We're gonna collect our SP orbs, and we're gonna move onwards. This is the part about the equipment I was gonna mention as well. As you can see, these areas, we can choose between out of 3 portals, which can also be rerolled by pressing R. We can choose between them, we can go inside and check out the map beforehand. It helps you plan out your next move, or maybe make a choice if this is the rift you want to go for or not. Kind of really depends, you really have to pick well, because some rifts might be more difficult than others based on your build at that current moment. So obviously, also they might have better components that will help you in your build. This is a game where you have to learn as you go. If you have played the previous games, you kind of have a little bit of knowledge, you know what you're looking for. A lot of the equipment is similar to the equipment from the previous game, and also the previous game had skills that now got turned into equipment. So you already have like builds prepped up in your mind. Like, you know, hey, I've ran this build and it kicked ass in the previous game. Obviously it's still present in this one, but you have to figure out the new pieces and how to attach them. Right now, I kind of know what I want to go for to begin with. We'll see when it goes, but I know I need a sorcery piece, which is the one in the Crimson Sigil. Yeah, that BS over there. That is blood and sorcery. Actually, full on BS, but whatever. The problem is that's going to be pretty difficult to get with these enemies. Boggarts are fairly annoying. They have a shield. Shield negates 1 hit. They're also arcane enemies, so of course they don't take that high of damage out of our little magic missile. They have 75% resistance, so they will take a lot less damage. So let's let them be. We're gonna look at this one. This one's actually pretty good as well. We have a couple of arcane pips, and we do like our arcane magics. So maybe we do this one. There's orcs, which do have a lot of health compared to what we've been facing off so far, obviously. As well as ice bombers, which explode, of course, upon death. Now, most of the spawners are over here with an orc spawner on the side, so this would be a pretty good spot if we can clear the spawners quickly. So we're just gonna pop over here. We can use this guy. By pressing D, you can actually see when the explosion goes off. And it's gonna hit this area, taking out this orc with it. Well, it's not gonna take him out, but it's gonna damage him. Now, our magic missile might be a little not adequate for this situation. We could pick another spell as well. We have the points. It's also a bit of the, let's call it tug, the pull and the pull situation with the builds in this game. I know it's an expression in my mind, just couldn't remember it over there. You have to work towards your intended build while also adapting to the situation at hand. Every new adaptation you make, every little pivot, unless it's like a full-on pivot, will delay your finisher? Is it finisher? There's a word, you know, your win condition. Yeah, that's it. Will delay your win condition, which is a situation we have to deal with right now, for example. How do we deal with this? Obviously, a big AoE type spell would be better right now. Now, what AoE type spell could we pick? Well, we're still looking towards Arcane. There's also other things we could do, obviously. This is a very interesting one. We could get Devour Mind over here. This is a bit of a more complex spell. Let me just move my big head out of the way. This kills enemies and turns them into zombies. Zombies are undead creatures. Fortunately, I wish they were arcane. I really wish they were arcane. They would have been so much more useful. But still, they can be. They still have some uses. What else? Blazer Rip is also an interesting little spell. It deals damage, fire damage, and arcane damage. And it can spawn little flame rifts or void rifts, which also summon void bombers. Also pretty useful. But again, maybe not what we want here. Maybe we can do better. We can get Psychic Seedling. We're not gonna get Psychic Seedling. I mean, okay, it has some uses. Absolutely. I just really don't know if this is what I want to do. We have a lot of interesting options, though. We could also just become Ooze and move on completely from what we were doing earlier. I think I will become Ooze. Yeah, this is a bit of a pivot, because I was gonna go a different build entirely, but yeah, let's go with this. So this turns us into Slime. There's a bit of old text over here, nothing on the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but still a little bit to read. But the gist of it is we turn ourselves into a slime wizard. We gain physical and poison resistance, and each turn we summon green slimes around us. Which is pretty cool. Green slimes are little minions, they got a little bit of health, they attack with poison damage, which makes them absolutely garbage at dealing with spawners, but they can easily overwhelm the map. Every turn they gain max health, at a certain point they split. into 2 slimes, and the cycle continues until the map is either overwhelmed or they die. So we're gonna become slime here. This actually moves this, because a turn has now passed. And we're gonna slowly move our way through this while the slimes provide us a little bit of cover. And they're pretty useful, all things considered. The only issue is, what I said before, it's our job to take on the spawners. Absolutely. Our enemies are physical, which means that if they do get in range to thwack us, we will take a lot less damage. So we're just gonna wiggle our way through. We're gonna kill this last spawner and let the slimes finish this off. Alright, good times ahead. We picked up some goodies. Why did I want this? I will pick the Void Slime upgrade, which will start summoning a lot of Void Slimes instead of the regular kind. This is important. We are still going to roll our Magic Missile build, just with a couple of changes. We'll see in a minute. Also, we are now looking for a certain staff, which I believe is a slime staff. Yeah, this is how you search things over here. Pretty much you pick whatever attributes you need. You can also use the search box, of course. And we need the slime Phantomy. Where is it? I think it's called something different. Macrophagy? No. God, I am a potato when it comes to these. I know the build I want to go, but... Oh, Slime Birth Phantomy. When the slime arrows are summoned, they cast a random cantrip you know that they share a tag with. In this case, Void Slimes are arcane and they will cast Magic Missile. We will eventually upgrade Magic Missile with Arcane Crossfire. I'm not sure if it's gonna work properly, but my god, is it worth an attempt. Alright, let's see. What are our next options over here? So we are looking for Slime, we are looking for Arcane, and we're looking for Sorcery. None of the... Well, we do have Sorcery over here, so might as well go with it. Can see some items here. Grants Quick Step. Quick Step is pretty much you being able to walk a block at half a turn. So we can go from here to here without triggering a turn, and this is going to be the turn. Quick Step and Quick Cast are pretty much the same thing on different mechanics. Quick Step is for movement, Quick Cast is for spells. You'll see. I don't know if you'll see this in this build, but yeah. Alright, we got Polar Bears. Polar Bears are kind of annoying to deal with if you don't have fire damage. If they take a certain pip of damage, they freeze themselves for 4 turns and heal. So they can heal about 40 health, unless you unfreeze them with fire. Yeah, this is a whole shtick as well. Some effects in the game are affected by others. You can unfreeze stuff with fire, you can get enemies soaked, which have a whole array of things you can do. But for the time being, we are here, we have become Slimeth, and we're gonna slowly poke our way through. Now this might be a little bit dangerous because the Polar Bears are a thing. How many turns do we have? 6 more turns. Okay, it might be enough. Perhaps. I'm gonna try taking a couple of steps away from the Polar Bears. Luckily enough, they do deal physical damage, but yeah, we still take 10 hits from them. Alright, slowly but surely dig our way to this heart over here for some health. Back to this so we don't die to physical damage. There you go. Good times ahead. Yeah, these guys, the kobolds, are a bit annoying because of the way they deal damages. Okay, we can move away from the bears. We could actually go and pick this up. Fortunately, we are going to run out of slime form sooner rather than later. There you go. Alright. We have a lot of slimes already on the spot. I'm going to make my way upward so I can take out this. There's a bear on me, but we can walk away from it. We just need to protect the few slimes we have left so they can finish the job for us. And just like that, job is done. Okay. This game also, compared to the others, has a bit of a faster difficulty curve. We're already at this point and we start seeing large, genuinely scary enemies, such as the big old Void Elder, for example, or the Worm Wizard. Both of them are genuine pains to fight with. Void Slimes. Ugh, that's also a bit annoying. Alright, Retinol Jelly could be really useful. I just don't know how we're gonna deal with the Elder. Honestly, the Elder is the scariest thing currently on this map for us. It's an arcane minion, it can fear us, it has a lot of resists, and it can shield himself. So, yeah, pretty difficult to deal with. We can actually look right now what we can craft. Obviously, Cantromancy is way later in the future. We don't have slime pieces, so maybe we should just pick up this. This is actually going to help our slimes a little bit as well. It's a bit of an expensive staff, all things considered. Let's get a lightning over there, but it should do it. We should also be able to we can get Battle Mage, eh? Or Sorcery. Sorcery I think is a bit better. Battle Mage is interesting, just not at this very moment. We kind of want both, but I think we'll start with Sorcery for the damage umph. Okay, so 2 staffs, pretty nice. We got a few more pips in the slime form, so we can cast it more times. Alright, do I want to take this fight, or do I want to go for more arcane stuff? This is the most valuable one. It's also the most difficult one. Alright, we're gonna slime form ourselves. And I think we're actually gonna upgrade this to a Disruption Bolt, just so we can deal with the enemies over here. Specifically the big dog. I think we can take him out quickly though. Lovely. Alright. With that guy out of the way, it should be a little bit easier. Now, there's gonna be a mix of their slimes and our slimes because of the slime thrower. But we are actually pretty well built for the situation. And because of the staff we took, our slimes deal 6 more damage. 3 damage, 9 damage. Who wins? I think us. Honestly, I believe us. Alright, just gonna figure out which ones are my boys and which one are their slimes. That's gonna be the pain. Alright, but I think they got it. Yeah, they do got it. Okay, lovely. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I see some oozling oculite. That is something we do want. There's a mischief maker there, but I think we should be able to deal with it. The scariest thing on that side is actually the frosty tormentor. So gnomes are supposedly should be easy to deal with. Grey mushrooms annoying, but again, yeah, easy because all they do is they stun when they explode. They deal very little poison damage. There's the frosty tormentors. These guys are annoying. Yeah, they cast a big radius of freeze around them that also freezes you. So if they hit you with this, 1 turn is skipped, bam again. They'll suck your soul, literally. The mischief marker is annoying because we can't burn shields. He's gonna teleport us around. Does little damage, but is fully resistant to arcane damage, so our minions are less useful. And the Toro Kalivi, which is this massive beast over here. Also, summon slimes. We are in a very slime-focused situation at the moment. Okay, let's just purge this guy. I might actually make a little bit of a change here. We're gonna grab that arcane crossfire ASAP. So now we can fire a bunch of little arcane missiles. It's kind of up to us to deal with most of the problems because, yeah, the mischief marker specifically is gonna likely be our problem. Assuming I can move into range without it killing me. Alright. Yeah, us and a bunch of slimes are gonna fire on it, slowly whittling down its shields. Hi, buddy. Yeah, we kind of need to deal with these as well, but man, it's not an easy time. We still got slime form to go. But it's gonna be a battle here. A battle of slimes. A battle of slums. Let me see if I can move in range to help out me boys. Feel like we're at a little bit of a disadvantage, more so that the Toro Kalivi is moving away from us so I can't hit it. Yeah, I think we're not in a good spot to deal with these guys. I'm gonna summon my own dudes. So these guys use Dark Bolts, which they use to heal up. The Toro Kalivi also spawns a crap ton of them, which is the real issue here. It just keeps spamming the bastards out. We're gonna run out of juice before we're gonna be able to kill it. What is the play? What can we do to save ourselves? We can pick this, which might assist us a little bit. Or we can get Arcane Combustion Power and use that to clear house. I think that's the better pick. My worry is it's not going to be enough. Well, I guess we're going to find out together, honestly. Okay. Well, the good thing is, it did its job. This guy is going to likely facilitate his own doom if he keeps breathing in the guys. Yep, there we go. Because we turned his own minions into living bombs, we blew him up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, we can grab the ooze wand over here, which is going to make our slimes even more dense. Yeah, it's an expensive piece, I'm aware. But making our slimes healthier is priceless at this point in the game. Our slimes are going to be the carry of this build. There's no two ways about it. Okay, let's see what we got over here. A lot of different enemies. This is a nice place to slime form out, and we're gonna quickly take these. Now, these enemies are a little bit on the weaker side, luckily for us. With our slimes and stuff, we can easily merc our way through, and just like that. Oop. Sorry, slime form went away. Slime form is the enchantment. If we can buff our enchantments, we can really make this rock. But we're doing pretty well, just as much. The chromatic oozemancer is one of the value ones as well, because we're gonna get a lot of random slimes out of it. Now, I'm not very interested in getting the other slimes. I know we can get more of them this way, and variety is the spice of life and whatnot, but at the same time, I don't know how worth it that will be in the long and short term. We should maybe get a slime stuff as well. We are moving more towards slimes anyways, so getting something like this will be a nice addition. Now, we're still in a spot that can go either way. Enchantments might be our next best thing to make things work. We should also look towards some more slime spells to pad our whole thing up. Slimify, slime shot, target explodes, max HP and spell damage. Other than no slime units. Turns water chasms into swamp chasms. Slime shot will do physical damage, receive slime rust. Okay. Slimification, cast Slimify. Slimify is a cool spell. So is bouncing slime ball actually. Slimify is a enchantment spell, I think. Yeah. You put an enemy and they take physical damage over time, and then poof, a slime pops out. Slimes can be of any variety, that's pretty hot. Now, is it worth our stuff here, or is it more worth it to get more slimes? That's a very good question, honestly. Alright, what do we got here? A lot of guys. We shall form our slimes, and we can slowly but surely carve our way through here. The enemies we have are not easy, but they're not too difficult either. We're still at the spot where the enemies aren't too difficult. Because of the way our setup works, we can easily cut down these. There you go. And our slimes deal a decent amount of damage compared to what they were before. Like 9 more damage already. 32 health. I think we begin with 20, right? Yeah. 20 health, so from 10 to 20 is a pretty big margin. If we get a couple of conjuration things as well, I can see us improving even more. Dissolution Shrine is not needed. I think I'm gonna just straight up reroll. I mean, I just kind of did. Okay, so I see some arcane over there. That's pretty hot. I see the Seer's Orb, which is also pretty hot. The problem here, obviously, is that there is a bunch of rather annoying enemies. Yeah, the Masked Wizard being specifically the one I don't like dealing with. Nine the Cat is also a pain. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not. Let's look at the map though. The map's not too bad. There's 2 Masked Wizards. That does make life a lot less desirable here. No, there's 3 of them. Oh god. These guys teleport us around a lot, which causes a lot of issues. My goodness gracious. This is gonna be a pain, isn't it? Oh yeah. Where am I? Right next to a vampire, I see. Okay. I almost perished. I think I will perish, actually. Is there a way to save ourselves here? I think there might be just one. It's a little bit spicy, and it will take some work to do, but no, not Earthen Passage. We are going to grab something. See, this is where we pivot, because we're gonna die. Teleport might be the better spell. No, teleport is the better spell. It's more expensive, but god darn it, with quick cast, we can blink there and blink here. And we're currently far away from the annoyance that is that little wizard guy there. Oh, he teleported us in. We can slime form though. Yeah, teleport is a great little spell if you can afford it. It doesn't have as many interactions as Blink, for example, which is also a pretty good spell, but it does the job. Okay. What if we pop here? How much? Oh, these guys can hit wherever. That's the thing. We can't. We are actually held back by line of sight, unlike them, which, yeah, puts a bit of a damper on our whole plan. We are slowly cutting through them, which is the one good thing. That's one down. 2 down. Okay. That one should go as well if we play it smart. We teleport here. Bam. We slime form, and that leaves this one guy here. The problem is, again, our slimes also cannot deal damage to him, so it's just us. They do when we throw a spell around because of our Phantomy little thing going on, but on their own, our slimes not damage him. It's one of the few reasons why I would actually agree to grabbing a what do you call it? Another slime form. Genuinely, that's the only reason. Okay, we got a couple of interesting things here. Card guards are terrible. I don't want to fight card guards. If I could avoid it, I despise fighting against card guards. They are the bane of my existence. Let's get ourselves an enchanter's enchantment staff. This is going to increase the duration of our slime form. Okay. Do I pick a secondary slime here? What is a good foil? What is a good alternative? I guess ice is not terrible. Yeah, ice isn't too bad. Okay. It's gonna help a little bit against stuff like these. Yeah, the Ether Spider Queen specifically are pretty weak to it. The Yggdrasil is going to be a problem, because it summons Aesirs once the damage really starts rolling downwards, and that's going to totally end up biting us in the ass. Aesir are pretty scary, all things considered. And that 2 damage it deals every few moments, that's also kind of spicy. Not gonna lie. I don't feel us cutting it down fast enough either. Yeah, the damage is getting seriously bad. Phaetons near the wizard. The Phaetons haven't been the problem. I'm actually trying to figure out what hurts us so much. It is the Yggdrasil, actually, yeah. Oh, this puts a bit of a damper on our situation, not gonna lie. Okay, let's continue with our slime form, I suppose. We're gonna work our way through these guys. Oh, I think it's because we keep popping them with the... Oh, there's the Aesir. Yeah, I think this is mostly self-damage that we're taking here. Now I think about it a little bit. It might just be mostly self-damage, yeah. Which is unfortunate if that's the case. Yeah, because we keep killing the Phaetons. And because of that, we are literally exploding ourselves every damn time that happens. Alright. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened, isn't it? I believe so, yes. That's a problem, and I don't think we have a solution. We might have like a half-hearted solution with this, actually. Slight possibility, yeah, with the arcane shield. It kind of sucks because our enchanter is always gonna go away, but I really don't want us to die, unfortunately. Okay, let's go. There's anything else I can do? I can get this, which is gonna heal us a little bit. Most of the enemies are now dead as well, so yeah, but we got one more teleport. That's our last teleport out of this situation. Shielding shard's gonna shield us, of course. How do I deal with the Yggdrasil? It's weak to fire and holy. If we pick a fire spell, will that make a difference? Possibly. We could just use fireball against it. It could work, but we need to heal. You're resistant to dark, quite resistant to dark as well. And I'm pretty sure we cannot eat slimes to heal ourselves, so that is a problem. Moving too close to him might actually give us a little bit of a play, I think. Well, it depends on how you look at it, I suppose. But we're gonna heal off the new... for the next 12 turns. Yeah, we get 10 heals. Alright. Now we can just hope our slimes have enough in their setup to clear this thing, because we totally do not. Nah. Well, that was an unfortunate situation. Yeah, the Yggdrasil is a pain there. Fireball mayhaps dealt some damage to it, but it would not have killed it. Oh well. Oh well. I wish we'd have started with a win, but it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you just end up cooking and it doesn't end up working out. That's gonna likely be all for this one. Hope y'all have a great rest of the day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!